In Athens, Georgia, over half a dozen religious organizations call South Lumpkin Street home. In the middle of the busy road sits the Presbyterian Student Center, also known as the PSC. High atop the building, a pride flag whips in the wind. Historically, some religious groups have excluded the LGBTQ+ community, but at the University of Georgia, the PSC is shifting this narrative with what Reverend Lerner calls radical welcome.
We are here to care for the spiritual lives of students. If that means that students are being cared for across the spectrum, then that's great.
Reverend Lerner was drawn to the PSC's strong, accepting community because she wanted to give students the support she'd wished she'd experienced during her college years.
I reflected back on my college experience and recognized that it was very lonely and it didn't have to be lonely.
Reverend Lerner identifies as an LGBTQ+ individual and, as a PSC campus minister, she supervises Coffee Queeries, or CQ, a group led and curated by LGBTQ+ students.
When you tell someone like you're queer and religious, they're like, what? Like, you can do both?
That's Cassandra Saunders, a third-year international affairs major at UGA and a former student minister for CQ.
And so sometimes it's like jewelry making or art. Sometimes it's like we're going to talk about stereotypes within the church community and like our experiences, like being rejected from churches before.
A few years ago, Saunders made the decision to leave her previous church.
Coming to terms with my sexuality, and I was like, you know what, like, I don't want to spend another second in a place that's not going to accept me for who I am. And I just made a promise to myself and to God. I was like, when I get to college, wherever I end up going, like, I'm going to find an affirming community.
Finding the PSC gave Saunders the sense of belonging she was searching for.
And I just remember like almost crying at the first service because Will, who's one of the pastors, was just saying like, everyone is a child of God. Everyone is loved. Everyone is welcome here.
Like Saunders, Reverend Lerner also struggled to understand how her identity fit into her religious life.
How dare you teach me that you love me, or teach me that I am loved by God, and then try to take that away from me once I've learned this about myself.
For Saunders and Reverend Lerner, living a faith-filled life as an LGBTQ+ individual often presented many challenges, but the community at the PSC allows them to openly express themselves in addition to strengthening their religious identity.
I wasn't sure if I would ever find a Christian community that was like that affirming, that kind, that welcoming, and that a lot of other queer people were in, and then I did, and it makes me really happy.
Jenna Monin, Grady News Source.